Welcome back to the Broncast, a podcast all about the Ford Bronco. My name is John Melton.
I'm Donnie Whiteman.
We are two Bronco enthusiasts who own Broncos. We work on Broncos, and we just love talking about Broncos from first generation all the way through the sixth generation Ford Bronco. Our sponsor for today is Tom's Off-Road. Tom's has every part that you need to fully restore your Ford Bronco. Man, here we are, Donnie. Super Celebration 2023. We've got an amazing crowd out there. Everyone, shout it out, crowd. That's right. Doing a little live, Broncast live. We've never done this before, so if anyone cusses, we won't be able to bleep it out. So, Donnie,
right.
keep it PG,
I'll keep
okay?
it clean, yeah.
Keep it clean. This is a family show. So, how's the show been for you so far?
Oh, it's just been incredible. Day 4, I think, or 5. I think it's day 4.
Yeah.
So weather's been amazing. Had a little storm over the night, but I think we're the only ones that lost a tent.
Our tent blew away and crumpled up into a ball. It was great. So
Yeah.
It wasn't my tent.
No, that's right.
Yeah.
So it was a rental.
Yeah, it was a rental. But yeah, I mean, this is an amazing event. If you've never been to the Super Celebration, it happens in Townsend, Tennessee, right in the heart of the Smoky Mountains. And there are so many Broncos here. Later, Tom Broberg will come and tell us how many Broncos actually came. But I'm guessing over 1,000. I mean,
Yeah, absolutely.
It's crazy how many Broncos are here. We had 900 registered, so you add in a few extra stragglers that just kind of came last minute, and it's a lot of people, a lot of Broncos.
Yeah, and so many 6 gens. Like there are more full-size Broncos this year.
Yeah.
There's more Bronco 2s.
Yeah.
More early first-gen Broncos, and then at least 300 Gen 6s.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it might even be more than that. There's a lot of the new Bronco, and it's pretty fascinating. How many people own a new Bronco out here? Yeah. See, look at that. Wow. That is incredible. That's majority of the crowd owning the new Bronco. Donnie, you've done a lot to yours. What have you been working on yours?
Yeah, we installed the exhaust on it the first day of the show. We did the KC Pro 6 light bar. We did that yesterday. And today I'm doing the step sliders by Rock Slide Engineering. I'm going to install those today.
So cool.
Probably right there.
Yeah.
So
that'll be amazing. I also did a bunch to mine getting ready for the show. If you guys heard, I blew my head gasket on my 302, so I replaced the head gasket. And I was impressed because first turn of the key and it fired back up, and I was like, no way. Like, this never happens to me. Like, usually there's always something that I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot to put, all the bolts back in it or something. And it was like, it just fired up, and I was like, this is incredible. So I did the Tom's Big Brake Kit. They're coming out with a big brake kit. If you've installed the GM brake kit, it's awesome because you don't have to grind your stock knuckle to get the caliper to fit. Super cool. But the big brake kit doesn't fit a 15-inch wheel. So I told my wife, hey, I installed these brakes, and now my tires and wheels don't fit anymore. So I got to get some new tires and wheels. And so I got some new methods, got the 17-inch methods, and some new just 35-inch rubber to go around them, and it looks amazing.
Changes the whole look of the truck.
Completely changed the look of the truck.
The roof rack's really awesome.
Yeah, and then I wanted a spare tire carrier, but had the ranch hand, and that started pulling, separating the quarter panel. And so I was like, I don't want anything back there. I want something on top. And so I got the Rhino rack, roof rack, and it is amazing and looks totally different. So, well, cool. Enough about my truck. Do you guys want to see some of these cool trucks and hear some of these stories? Yeah. Well, first up is Jake from Montana Broncos, and he's going to be pulling up one of his second-generation creations. And this thing's pretty amazing, and I will let Donnie talk to Jake about this thing. Will you hop out here and talk to us? What's up, man? Everyone give a round of applause for Jake.
Hey, thanks for coming, man.
How are you doing?
Good. Yeah, step on up there. So, Jake, this is a Gen 2.
You betcha. 1979 Montana original Bronco here.
And how long have you had this one?
Oh, so I'm not the current owner. Let's disclosures now. This is not currently my Bronco.
Here we go.
By Mr. Sean Smith that lives here in the great state of Tennessee. And I'm happy that he owns it. We've got 3 or 4 of our previous Broncos that are here at the show. You know what? I'll be honest, I don't remember. My wife needs to fill me in on details. I don't keep track. I don't remember exactly when I bought this Bronco. Probably 4 or 5 years ago, I would assume. When did I sell it to you?
November last year.
November of last year. It must have been a weak moment or something like that. But
so you actually work on Gen 2 Broncos, right?
I do. It's kind of a passionate hobby gone wild, I call it. It's kind of a side hustle that we have, sharing our passion for Broncos and especially the Gen 2s. We do a fair amount of work. We've restored a couple of them that are here today. But we really like the kind of the quirky, different ones. We love original survivors, which is what this one is. We love stripes. Anybody that knows us, we love stripes. This is one of our reproduction stripe packages of the original tri-stripe that Ford used on these Broncos back in the day. So that's pretty much the only thing we added to this truck. It's all original. So it's a 4-speed. Who likes rolling gears in a 4-speed? Come on, let's hear it
awesome.
there. Yeah.
So which engine's in this one?
So this got a 351M, as they call it. It's 351. It's a original engine. And how's she running, Sean?
Runs fantastic.
Runs like a top. He's wanted to change some things on it, and he says he just can't because all the parts are original, and it runs and drives so well the way it is that it's pretty tough to find that.
The fast idle circuitry works on it. So you crank it, the choke kicks in, and then when it gets warm, it shuts off. I was like, I can't touch that.
Oh, yeah, it's that original. Even the choke still works.
Yep.
So I want to ask both of you guys, we'll ask you individually, how many Broncos have you owned or do you own? How many does your wife know about?
And my wife's here. You know, see him putting me on the spot. That's not fair. How about a round of applause for Montana Broncos for putting up with these shenanigans?
How many does she know you own?
Well, currently right now, a lot of people ask me that. I think, I don't know, somewhere between 9 and 11 right now. We have one of every generation. We have the new Bronco Raptor as well. So we've got one of everything. I think about 4 or 5 second gens. Including an ultra cool, we call it the Bramper, a rare 78 camper conversion Bronco that there's going to be a lot of cool stuff coming up with that one. But we've owned, 40, 50 Broncos, 4 or 5 at least in each generation. And we love them all for different reasons, but the second gen is definitely our favorite.
You came from a pretty good distance. Where'd you come from?
Montana, Billings, Montana, 1,700 and some miles. And no, we didn't drive a Bronco. We have plenty that we have confidence in to drive this far. It was just the time. We have 5 kids, and so that takes up a lot of our time, and they're in the middle of some sports right now, but we want to be this event because it's kind of the premier Bronco event.
Well, and it seems like most Bronco owners own more than one. So how about you? How many?
No, this is my only Bronco. I'm a Ford truck 73 through 79 guy, and I have about 4 or 5 trucks, but this is the only Bronco, and it's my second Bronco. First one was pure hot rod. I just love them. The way it drives so differently than a truck.
Yeah.
It's, with the wheelbase being shorter and everything. And
yeah.
Again, it's not a hot rod in any way. It's the stockest vehicle I've ever owned, and and I tell people all the time I've never owned a better vehicle or nicer. I'm usually in the junky old '89 Cutlass or something. This thing is.
Sean needs to move to Montana. That's what I keep telling him because he's got the know-how behind all the Ford drivetrain and the motors and everything. And I could sure use Sean in Montana. So how many here have driven a second-gen Bronco? Of course, there's lots of Bronco owners here. Yeah. They drive so nice. They're different. Still solid front axle, so you get all that love and fun that everybody appreciates in a Bronco. But they do drive significantly different than really all the other generations.
So you work on all the Gen 2 to Gen 5s, or do you focus on the Gen 2?
You know, it's kind of gravitated to Gen 2s. I mean, we like them all. Our first Bronco was an 83, so it was a bullnose Bronco, a 3rd generation. Early on, that was my first Bronco that I bought when I was 16 years old, and have a lot of memories in that. So big Broncos is where I was, but I was into early Broncos until, I'd tinker with one and sell it, and then they got to where, well, you'd have to have 2 or 3, right? Because you had to have parts off this one and something off that one, but then it got to where those first gens they went up in price to where it was really hard to do that. And that's when I bought my first second gen, because they still kind of have the classic look, that den side appeal. I've always loved den side trucks. And then when I bought my first second gen and I drove it home, I remember walking in and telling my wife, I'm like, I cannot believe I'd owned all the other generations. Somehow I'd missed a second gen. And I said, I don't know how I missed the second gen and why I haven't had one of these till now. And since then, we've really focused on the second generation Broncos.
How can people find you?
Social media, so our main platform is on Instagram, Montana Broncos, Facebook, everywhere, montanabroncos.com. We have a YouTube channel. I need lessons from John. John needs to school me in the ways of this, but appreciate him having me on. But Montana Broncos on any of the platforms, and if you're ever in Montana, look us up.
All right, we appreciate both of you guys coming and sharing your beautiful Gen 2 with us.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Give it up for Montana Broncos. Jake, appreciate you guys coming out. I've envied this for a long time.
Thanks, Sean.
Beautiful.
This is probably one of the best things about it when you sell a Bronco that really your heart. I didn't talk about this Bronco much, but it was a school teacher in Lewistown, Montana that bought it new. And had a lot of the original paperwork. And after I bought this thing and started posting it, I had a lot of kids getting on there. Oh, I remember seeing that in the high school parking lot and all this stuff. And so, nicest original Survivor that I've owned. And it was hard for me to sell it, but he drove all the way from Tennessee to grab it. But then when he shows up, at a show like this with the Bronco and the others, it makes you appreciate passing it on to the next person that's going to take, because it needs to be driven. And it's sad. It was I would roll gears for therapy, but it was time to move to somebody else. So, but I need that therapy again. So it's time for another 4-speed, I think. So, yeah, thank you.
Man, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks.
You bet.
Well, give it up for Jake one more time. Montana Broncos. If you want to see some beautiful Broncos, follow their Instagram page. It is for real beautiful. Real quick, we got another faraway land friend. Come on over here, Ryan. If you guys have listened to the podcast for any length of time, at the beginning of the year, we answered a question about which event should you go to if you're only coming to one event this year. And that question was from Ryan, because where are you from, Ryan?
I'm from Alaska.
Alaska. This guy is from Alaska. Now, where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram, Alaska Early Broncos. That's pretty much the main social media.
Yeah, you got to get closer. Choke it up.
Okay.
There you go.
All right.
Alaska Early Broncos on Instagram. Ryan has some great pictures on there, does some really cool wheeling. What Bronco do you have?
So I've got a 74 Explorer and a 76 Ranger.
That's amazing. 74 Explorer, 76 Ranger. Came here all the way from Alaska. What part of Alaska?
Wasilla.
Wasilla, for all of you who know Alaska geography well. I'm looking at you, Natalie, Trey. So, yeah, this is super cool. Just thank you for coming. Thank you for writing into the Broncast and asking some questions and actually taking our advice and showing up.
Yeah, no, this is an awesome trip.
Yeah, what do you think of the event so far?
Way bigger than any event in Alaska.
Right? This is the biggest Bronco event in the country. Like nowhere else will you find over 1,000 Broncos, and the amount of just people, and it's cool. Even people from Alaska come down just to see the amazing Broncos. Anything else?
No, that's it.
Thank you, Ryan.
All right, thanks.
All right, next up, we've got the one and the only Mr. Rob Matthews. And, we have
Weren't expecting that, were you?
No, I was not. Is this oh yes.
It's delicious, Donnie. Just say thank you and start.
And that is delicious. This is a specialty of Rob's that I often enjoy. It's called a hazy.
Well, once a year anyway.
Yeah, once a year. The old hazy sailor.
Yeah.
You can pull that mic up if it's a little too short. Yeah, there you go. Throw it away. All right, so Rob has, if you've seen any of my videos, I've interviewed Rob a number of times, obviously, because Rob just, he pops out beautiful trucks. Let's be honest. I mean, he is the birther of beauty.
That's by far the funniest thing I've heard today.
And so Rob, in years past, brought a truck called Patches. What year was Patches?
Patches was in 1975.
1975 Bronco. It was a half cab. It was a very similar color scheme, beautiful truck. And unfortunately, but fortunately, he sold Patches. And now he has worked tirelessly to get this. Now, what are we looking at behind us?
This is a 1970 Bronco. Originally Wimbledon white on Wimbledon white on Wimbledon white. It was so white it would make you sick looking at it. And Florida truck, delivered in Jacksonville, sold out of Tampa, and we bought it just a county or two away, all stock, everything, non-molested, which is pretty rare.
Yeah, super rare. Okay, now we've talked about this before, but a lot of you new Bronco people may not have heard this term, but this is what's called a luber. Talk about what a luber is.
It's kind of like a loogie, but better. So luber is a lifted, uncut Bronco. So a lot of these trucks are cut in the rear quarters. You can clear bigger tires if you want to go trash them, and then some of them are original rear quarters, which is uncut. So luber, lifted, uncut Bronco.
Now your tires are pretty unique. What tires do you have on this, and why are they rare?
They're to the best of my knowledge, it's the only size tire that you can get in a 34 by 9.5. So 34 inches tall, 9.5 inches wide. They're referred to as skinnies or pizza cutters. Sort of period correct-ish, you know, for 50, 30-year-old truck back in the day, they would put those tall skinnies on because they would clear the rear quarters without cutting them.
Yeah, and it looks beautiful. But yeah, that's why the tires are so skinny, is so that you can tuck it up under there with an uncut Bronco, because the fender usually, like if you look on mine, and I have 12.5-inch wide wheels or tires, the fender's cut because otherwise it would hit the fender and damage something.
Yeah, well, you go off-road, you'd only have to do it once, and then they self-clearance.
Yeah, that's all you need. So what do you got on here? You got how much suspension lift and any body lift?
Yep, this is identical suspension to Patches, so it's a 3.5 plus 1. I had Duff suspension on Patches. I have Wild Horse suspension on this, with the exception of the Duff long arms in the front.
Yep. Which you powder coated the same color or painted the same color?
Yep, they're painted to match.
Yeah. What engine, transmission, transfer case?
The engine for this truck came out of a 97 Explorer. I got rid of all the electric junk, so under the hood it looks like an old truck,
Nice.
but it's running a full fuel injection system, the Holly Sniper 2-barrel, and thus far it's great, just like the old one.
Beautiful. And who's your co-driver?
Oh, that's Porter. Yeah, he's my lunatic. Everybody looks at the vest and goes, "Oh, it's your service dog." Don't pet him, honey. It's a service dog. And I'm like, "No, this is my complete asinine lunatic." And he's wearing that thing in case he goes nuts. I got more things to grab a hold of.
Yeah. He does go nuts. It's a lot of fun. My dog and his dog were playing together for a while. Well, this is great. I mean, okay, so on the podcast a lot we talk about, we have Parts Corner, we have DIY or PAY. Yeah. What is your favorite thing that you did to this truck? And I mean, yeah.
Let's start off with the simple question.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
The greatest thing.
Your favorite thing.
The favorite thing is that I own another early Bronco that runs and drives. That is my favorite thing.
That's right. Now, okay, so what would you say was the most difficult thing that you had to do on this?
Working with a fiberglass hardtop.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So a lot of people think that a fiberglass hardtop is better, it's easier, it's lighter. Is it just as heavy?
Mine is.
Oh, man.
But that's because I have 2-part polyethylene foam in the whole top, the entire top.
Wow.
So it's a lot heavier than stock. It's also... Anybody wants to hit it, take your fist and hit the roof. and then go down and hit the roof of a normal one that doesn't have the
Hit
foam in
mine, and it's like, dong.
Well, not even metal, but another fiberglass top.
Oh, really?
It's night and day. Not even close.
Interesting. That's cool.
So
there's so many unique things that Rob has done to this truck. You just need to walk around it, check it out, ask him to pop the hood, because this is a part of the reason why I love coming here is you get to see all these unique vehicles, like you putting polyethylene, whatever it is, under the hardtop.
I have aircraft hinges on the lift gate, so that's something I never seen done before.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What's your wife think about this?
She hasn't told me a straight answer. I think.
It's awesome.
Okay.
And what are you building next?
Her 67's on the docket now.
Yep.
So we'll have it here next year.
It better be here next year, and then we'll have Amanda come up and talk about all the all the things with the 67. Well, Rob, thank you. This is amazing. I love your work, and thanks for coming out.
Is it better than Patches?
I don't know. Patches has such a soft spot in my heart. I do. Yeah, it is better.
You're on the spot and you're saying
I'm on the spot.
Making me feel good.
I know. I am. But I do love this. It's one of my favorites for sure at the show. So thank you.
Yep.
Right.
No problem.
Give it up for Rob. And all right. So we've got our next guest pulling up here. Is it Kyle? Kyle's coming. Hold on just a second. While Kyle is pulling up, I wanted to show off some pretty cool stuff. So the guys over at Dennis Carpenter have made, I'm going to come to the tight shot. Oh, you had moved it. All right. We're going back. Okay. So the guys over at Dennis Carpenter have created some pretty cool parts. If you haven't checked out the Dennis Carpenter booth over there, go check it out for sure. But they have these small Bronco script emblems, which actually go on their Bronco scuff plates. So if you guys know, if you have a Bronco and early Bronco and you're getting in and out of your door all the time, and you open up the door right there, you got that little area that always gets scuffed. It always gets banged. And these are perfect. They're low profile. They fit right over that spot, and they keep your Bronco from getting scuffed up. I've been talking too much. I apologize. I'm getting all coffee. But keep the Bronco from getting scuffed up, and they're low profile enough to fit under the door. Super cool. And then this little emblem, which I wanted to show off this emblem because for those of you who've got a golf cart, Bronco golf cart, this is like the perfect small size. It's like shrunk down from the original. So there you go. A little parts corner there for you on the podcast. What's going on, man?
Hey, how you doing?
So this is
Kyle Cox.
Kyle Cox, and you've got, what is this?
This is a 75 Baja.
75 Baja Stroppe Bronco, right? Stroppe, yep. And where did you get this?
So I actually grew up seeing this Bronco. Dad had a 72, and the guy showed up at a gas station and was like, hey, man, I like your Bronco. Dad's like, hey, thanks. Guy whips out a magazine, LMC from 2004, says, hey, here's mine. So I actually grew up seeing that magazine on the desk.
Wow.
And knew that was the Bronco that was in town. I had a 73 before this. It was just a toy 347 stroker.
Yeah.
I sold it, regretted it, obviously. Got a chance to buy this one. Couldn't make it happen, actually. Watched it go across the block in Denver at Mecum. It no-selled. Guy came back to me and said, hey, I'll knock $5,000 off the asking price, but you got to go get it.
Wow.
So obviously I made it happen.
Yeah, seriously. That's amazing. And so what have you done to it since you got it?
So since I've got it, when I got it, the top was white, the hood was white. It's all had a repaint at some point in its life.
Gotcha.
Spent a lot of its time in Hawaii, so Saltair got to it. It had quite a bit of rust in it. I've obviously painted the hood, painted the top. I've replaced both front floor pans, both front door posts, the cowl, both inner fenders, and both kick panels.
Yeah, yeah. That's amazing. A lot of work, a lot of hard work that you've put into it. And if you're watching this and you've listened to the Broncast before, Donnie and I have talked a lot about the Stroppe Bronco. So this was a special Bronco that was kind of Ford asked Bill Stroppe to make these Stroppe Broncos, and they were kind of more off-road capable. They were ready to go in like the Baja 1000 or these races, and so Ford had asked them, and so there's only a few of them in the country, a couple hundred of them that have been made, and this is one of the survivors.
One of 30 in 75. So the Marty report says. One
of 30 in 1975. That's super cool. And 351 Windsor.
Nope, 302.
302. Yep. Okay. C4.
Yep.
Nice. Yep. Yeah. So very cool. Survivor for sure. So a lot of times when people come on the show, we kind of ask them, "Hey, what's your favorite part? You know, like what's a favorite thing you've done?" And Kyle, excuse me, Kyle has a really unique story, and so I wanted to ask you, what is your favorite memory of this thing, and tell us about your story.
So. We just, in November, we lost our 3-year-old to leukemia, AML leukemia. This, by far, was her favorite vehicle that we've had. You know, we've had a lot of old vehicles, and this was always her favorite. Bronco, 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 Bronco. If I was out there working on it, she's right there with me. If we were out driving it, she was right there in the back. She absolutely loved this thing. So, to me, you know, obviously I've lost her. That's going to remain my favorite memory.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And what was her name?
Amelia.
Yeah. You called her Millie, right?
Yeah, we called her Millie, Millbug.
Yeah.
She's got her own Facebook page for Mighty Millie.
Yeah, and if you've ever seen Kyle's Facebook page, they've talked a lot about it in the Bronco groups. And I just thought it would be so special for him to come up and to show his Bronco and to talk about Millie a little bit, because that is such a special part of the Bronco community. You know, like we all have our highs and we all have our lows, and it's been really cool to see how the Bronco community has come around you guys and just supported you through this, and been a part of Millie's leukemia and been a part of that process. And we are, man, I don't know how you've done it. I don't know, I can't even imagine the pain that you guys have gone through, but the fact that you would come on here and talk about it and we're open to that, I really appreciate it. And give them a round of applause. How can people find out more about what you guys have been through, and do you have a foundation or what?
We're working on a nonprofit. It's going to be, we haven't officially decided on the name, but we've already established that Mighty Millie.
Yeah.
But we've got the Facebook page already up and going. It's Mighty Millie. You can find it. There's pictures of the Bronco in that same page.
Yeah.
Of course. I've got an Instagram. It's just Kyle.Cox12. I try to keep up on that for the most part. But, as far as going back to how we've dealt with it, I've done just anything any other father would done. You know, this Bronco community is, like you said, amazing. Just, I've got people coming at me from all different directions while we're out here that have just seen and followed along. And it's just, that makes it awesome.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. Well, give Kyle another round of applause. Where's your wife? Where is
She's
she?
right
There
over
she
there.
is. Well, everyone wave. There's Kyle's wife.
Yep,
Thank
Mama
you
Cox.
so much, Mama Cox. And we so appreciate you guys. If you guys want to support or want to talk to these guys, definitely find them after. Look for the Stroppe Bronco, and they would love to talk more about Millie and all of that. So,
Yep.
Kyle, thank you.
Yep. Before we go,
Yeah.
why don't you read this quote on the back of my shirt, because it really sets in something that's about pediatric cancer.
Yeah, for sure. So we got, the leading coffee franchise makes as much money as the NCI spends on childhood cancer research annually in just 5 days. That is crazy. That's nuts.
Yep. Only 4% funding
Wow.
for pediatric cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely a cause to support for sure. If you guys want to talk to Kyle, want to talk to his wife afterwards, definitely do it. Beautiful Bronco. Kyle,
Thank you.
thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
Yep. Appreciate you.
All right. Give one more round of applause to Kyle. All right. So we've got our next one coming up here. As Kyle is taking off. How have you guys been enjoying the show so far? Pretty good. Good show. Hey, if you're hanging out right after we do the Broncast at 1 o'clock, Tom's Off Road is going to be giving away a $1,000 gift certificate. So definitely stick around if you want to win a $1,000 gift certificate. Johnny, come on up here, buddy. You got to have your support. That's right. That's right. All right. I love this. Now, you guys have your picture, right? Will you get the picture, too? So this is Johnny. Johnny, what's your last name?
Hall.
How-
H-A-L-L.
H-A-L-L. Hall. Come on close to the mic so everyone can hear you.
Johnny Hall.
Johnny Hall. And what is this?
It's a 71 Bronco.
And when did you buy it?
I think I bought it in 1970.
Wow. So you bought this brand new
Yes,
off the
sir.
dealer lot.
Yes,
And
sir.
What's
No, $3,600.
$3,600? And what's your name?
Lynn Hall.
Lynn Hall. So we got Johnny and Lynn, and I don't know if you can see it, but we've got this amazing picture of them not many years ago, just a few years ago, sitting on 50 years ago, sitting on the hood of the Bronco and of this very Bronco. So incredible, incredible picture. So you guys bought this brand new. Were you married at the time?
No, he
Here.
got it when we got out of high school. He got it when we was getting out of high school. And
Okay, so you got it when you were getting out of high school. How old were you back then?
17.
17. Wow, that is amazing.
But we have been together since the 5th grade of school.
Wow.
Childhood sweethearts from the 5th grade on through high school.
Wow.
Married later on.
What year did you get married?
We married in 72.
72. I love that you got to think about it. I have to think
Yeah.
about it too, and I was married
I
in
had to think. I graduated
2013.
in 70 and I had to think.
Yeah. That is amazing. So you, Johnny, you bought this in 1971, and you guys were dating, and then you got married, and
We wasn't married when that picture was taken.
No, we
you weren't?
married.
Is that why you're trying to look down her shirt?
Well,
You'll have to come look at this picture.
well, that's the reason she's grinning right there. We wasn't married.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, tell me about this Bronco. What have you done to this?
Well, I basically raised it maybe 2.5 inches, but just kept it basic as long as I can. And it's never been repainted. Tailgate's been repainted on it, but as far as the body on it, it's never been repainted.
And what's in it? 302?
Yeah, 302.
3-speed?
Yes. And I did put the 3-speed on the floor years ago,
Okay.
but it's got 105,000 miles on it, original motor.
Wow.
And it ain't never been out of it.
Wow.
It's even got the same clutch in it.
Wow. That is amazing. So we've been talking about, memories that we have with our Bronco, memories that we have in the Bronco. What would you guys say? And I want you to answer separately. What would you say your favorite memory is in this Bronco?
Well, we got 2 sons, and when they wouldn't go to sleep at night, we put them in the Bronco and carry them riding, and within half a mile of the house, they'd be asleep.
Wow. That is amazing. All right. What would you say?
Well, I guess the favorite, really not the favorite, the scariest part was whenever he took me hunting and he went down one gully and then we was coming back up the other with water in it, and I was never been in a Bronco before and I didn't know whether I was coming out of there or not.
Scared to death.
Scared to death.
Yep.
But we made it.
Now, I mean, tell me, like, we're here, we're at this event, and it feels like families just come together around the Bronco. Is that the case with your family?
Well,
our son is right over there, and daughter-in-law, so I guess it is.
Son and daughter-in-law right over here.
Yeah.
Oh, nice, nice.
he's got about 14 or 15 junkies in the yard, but he's
Yep.
working on another one.
14 or 15 to work on another one. I love it. How many?
Says that's his retirement.
Yes, yes. How many have you owned through the years? Just one.
And I've got two of the I guess you call it the second generation, the
Yeah,
bigger one.
the big Bronco. Yep.
Eddie Bauer.
Oh, and a 95 Eddie Bauer. Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
I got a 95 Eddie Bowers and a 92 just a plain one.
Wow.
Parts.
92 plain one, 95 Eddie Bauer. That's awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for being here. I love just the history of, it's like we could sit here and talk about all the adventures you've been on in this thing, I'm sure, and it's like there's every Bronco has so many cool stories, and there's so much just history around this place when you start to talk about, like, oh yeah, like I didn't think I was going to come out of the woods, and there's all those kinds of stories that are all around the Bronco, and I love that. And so thank you guys for being a part.
He can even tell you the dents and scratches that was put on it and when they was put on it.
Yep, I bet.
The kids and him both.
Yeah.
I haven't dented or scratched it yet.
That's right. Good job. Well, Johnny, I appreciate it. What was your name? Lynn. Johnny and Lynn. Everyone give it up for Johnny and Lynn one more time. Original owners of a 1971 Ford Bronco. You got to come take a look at this picture. It is it's beautiful to see. And they said that they're going to recreate this picture here in a little bit. Just when Lynn's going to hop up on the hood and Johnny's going to put his arm around her. We're going to recreate that picture in a little bit. No, I'm just kidding. But thank you guys.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Well, we got one more Bronco coming up. You guys enjoying this so far today? It has been a great event. Where'd Donnie go? Donnie, come on, come join me. This is our podcast. He's just on his phone, Instagramming, Snapchatting. How's the event been so far that you feel like?
Oh man, the weather's great, but
Yeah.
the number of early Broncos in Gen 2 through Gen 5 and now Gen 6s, and this event doubled, I think, from last year. That's shocking. Twice as many Broncos.
Crazy. Well, yeah, it has been a lot of fun. What would you say? Like, this is technically your first time really being out. You came a little bit last year, but this is the first time you were really at the event. What would you say to someone who's never been here before?
Well, take a week off of work and come for all 4 days of the event.
Yeah.
And, come a few days early, do some of the rides.
Yeah,
enjoy the mountains.
We were talking to one family, and they were like, oh, yeah, on Monday, we took the kids to Dollywood and rode roller coasters, and on Tuesday, we were doing this, and then we came to the event on Wednesday. So it's like, you could totally come. The place that we book, you have to book it Sunday to Sunday. You can't, just come for a couple days. It's like, you got to come the whole week. But it makes it so fun, and it is totally a family event, and it's one of those things that, yeah, you can bring the whole family to, and you can come without a Bronco. Like, you don't have to have a Bronco to come here. You can come and get so much inspiration and so much just encouragement from coming and seeing everyone else's Bronco and all that kind of stuff.
You can see every color, every lift, every possible way to build a Bronco. So you think you've seen them all.
Yeah.
And you'll say, oh, I like that one better. And
yeah.
A few aisles down, you'll see another one go, I think I like that one better.
Yeah. People are like, which one's your favorite? I'm like, I don't know. I can't pick my favorite. That'd be too impossible. So, but you talk to this guy.
Okay,
come on up.
How are you doing?
I'm good. What's your name?
Chris.
Chris, what do we have here?
This is my family's 1966 Bronco Roadster.
Okay, so it's a U13?
Yep.
Yeah.
It was built in early October of 65.
Oh, wow. It's one of the first ones. So this is referred to as a bud truck, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Judging Jimmy on your video a couple weeks ago, it's classified a bud truck.
So how long have you owned this?
So my family has had it since 1995. And my dad originally purchased it from Murphy, North Carolina. And when he purchased it from there, brought it up to Ontario, Canada.
Tell us what color it is.
It's Arcadian blue.
Arcadian blue. Okay. That's beautiful. And does it have the 6-cylinder in it?
Yes,
The straight
it's
6?
Still the original motor, original transmission, original drivetrain.
And it's a manual transmission?
Yeah, 3 on the tree.
I think they all were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
What's your favorite thing about this truck?
my favorite thing about it is the simplicity, right? They're easy to fix, easy to maintain, unlike the new trucks these days.
So you probably don't have a roof with it. So do you have a soft top or?
Well, when my dad bought it in '95, it originally had doors and a top on it, and we still have those up there. But at some point in its life, it had a soft top, judging by some of the holes on the windshield frame, and they put a top and doors on it somewhere through its life.
When did it get restored?
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
2 years ago, my dad decided to tackle it as a COVID project. So, and then started in the February and finished it August.
Oh, so it's a fresh restoration.
Yeah, fresh restoration. So,
do you have any other Broncos?
we have 3 other ones.
3 other Broncos?
We have 1974, 2021, and then 2022 Sport.
Everybody has more than one Bronco.
Yeah.
You have one for parts.
Yeah, well, the original plan was with my dad's 74 when he bought this was to take the drivetrain out of it, put it in here, and then my dad was looking for shocks for this, and we were having trouble finding shocks for it. And then he started looking into the VIN number, and then we saw the VIN number was U13, and then go on to Facebook and be like, hey, what does the U13 mean? And then it just snowballed from there, and then it went from doing like a resto mod to as original as we can make it restoration.
So when's your first memory of owning a Bronco or falling in love with a Bronco?
I was probably 5 or 6, and we used to come down here as a family to Smoky Mountain Venture in Tellico, Murphy, North Carolina area to go off-roading, and it was off-roading in our 74 Bronco.
So this has like no brake assist at all. So how are the brakes on it?
They're fine.
Yeah.
You got to pump them a couple of times before you come to a stop, but they're good.
That's a beautiful truck.
Thank you.
So thanks for coming. We
Yep.
appreciate it.
Yeah,
and
we do.
everybody give a big round of applause for this beautiful truck.
Thank you. 15-hour drive from Ontario.
15-hour drive. And you drove it.
No, we trailered it.
Oh, okay. All right.
We trailered it. So.
Thank you, man. Thanks for being on here. I appreciate it. Listen to the 1966 roar. I love it, though, man. It's like, really, you can find anything that you want out here. You can find original 66. You can find lifted, uncut, orange Pache. You can find Stroppe Broncos. You can find Gen 2s. You can find... It really is. You can find anything. So we really appreciate you guys coming and hanging out with us. We appreciate you guys coming out to the event. Give it up one more time, everyone out here for the event. All right, so here's what we're going to do. So we're going to say goodbye to our live audience. We're going to say thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time